What's up, guys? It's Eggie here, and we're in the garage, and Kuko's in the garage. It's up on these little ramps that we have, and then I put 2 jacks in the front. Because my dad was like, oh, why don't you just use the ramps? They don't really do nothing over there, or whatever. So I'm like, all right. And then we moved the street car over here. The Corolla is now over there. But apparently Javier's coming to get it, so we can finally start working on it. But I did a couple things, because I'm going to get ready, pretty much start our winter prep for 2025. So I want to pull the transmission out, get all the fluids out, and then, you know, pretty much have it ready, throw some oil in it, do whatever you have to do, update whatever you have to update, and, yeah. So my main goal really is just to get PPG 3 and 4 over the winter and maybe some small other updates. I might want to do the front brakes, like the lightweight NRG racing front brakes, and then possibly get one of my subscribers, wow, that's fun. Sorry, Apollo. He got some FCS trailing arms, and originally I was like, oh, maybe the trailing arms will tuck the tire, because right now our tire is right underneath our rear wheel well, so when it squats, you know, I don't want it to touch or nothing. But at the same time, I'm talking to you know, you make a lot of friends through the internet, and it's cool. His name, his Instagram is allmotor_freezy, but he was telling me that, because he has FCS and he has a KC CRX, and he told me try the control arms first, because FCS has adjustable control arms. So I think I'm going to try those first before going all in on FCS, even though the FCS trailing arms are lighter than the KS tunes, but that wasn't really something I was trying to get right now, because my main focus is really the 3 and 4 that's for the transmission, because the numbers are there. We could get a low 10 out of this car. We went 151 to the 60. And I think, you know, the whole 3 and 4 thing, that's what's killing us in the 8th mile and after, obviously. But, yes, I was doing a couple things. I pulled the injectors out. So, yeah, the fuel rows here and all that stuff. I'm going to put a cover over that and shut the hood, too. But, yeah, they're right here. I'm going to take them to the dyno so we can just make sure they're good, because the car kind of started weird a couple times for me. I think it was just cold. I'm thinking, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to double-check your injectors at the end of the season. So I'll probably double check them now, and even before we throw them back in, and probably double check them again before that, before you even put them back in. But you know, Gato, the owner of the white CRX, Steven's dad, he puts his in a bag, and then he puts it with like WD-40, so you're not sitting in there with just fuel in there. So I think I'm going to do that, and I mean, that car always runs, it's always on point. So I'm going to adopt that and do that. But I also, because I never checked the catch can all year. So I wanted to check it. The filter still looks good, but let me get the light. Yeah, we got some Earl in there. We got some blow by. There's a little bit of oil, but I thought there would be a lot more, but there's really not that much. Oh, there's a little screw in there. That's not good. But I guess it's not a big deal. I'll grab it in a second. But yeah, put some blow by all right there. It's not too much of a concern, but obviously I am going to drain it before we do continue on. But yeah, so I got the injectors out. So pretty much what my plan is to head to the dyno now and see how they look. I gotta edit that out because no one will hear cursing.
Oh, so I'm sorry.
Probably just leave it in there. This kid got a potty mouth.
Space activates power management targets. Allow tires to vary.
They look good to me. So far. I don't know. No goal stuff. Not that different.
I know he does.
I can't tell if they're even or if this one's a little lower.
That one looks a little low. Yeah, that one is a little lower. Just that one. Alright guys, we're back. I'm literally wearing the same sweater. I have other sweaters, I just gotta wash them. But this is like my go-to. But it's about, shoot, I think when we did the injectors, that was a Friday. Today is Wednesday, so it's the next week. Yeah, the injectors are kind of dirty. I didn't get to show you guys everything because we're using like this giant blowgun that's like this long, and I needed Noel had to hold the injector on one end, and I had to hold the thing, the trigger for the blowgun to clean them out, and then ran them again, and they seemed good, so I put them in a bag with WD-40 in it and sprayed it with WD-40, keep them from getting like rusty and all that from the gas and stuff. I learned that from Kato, so I did that, and then you know, I was like, well, I want to know why they were dirty, so I took off the fuel filters that were on the pump because I also wanted to check the pump because at 13203 on the fuel tech, the gauge for our fuel pressure kept spiking and going up. The light went up. So I was trying to figure out why I was doing that. The car never like changed idle or anything. It didn't really do anything different. It didn't feel different, but I noticed that on the fuel tech. So I took the fuel filters off, and the first one I took apart was like this cheap one that I kind of just got so we could get the car going. And I guess that's what happens when you let the fuel sit for too long. So I gotta, even if the car is not going anywhere, like if there is gas in it, I gotta like, you know, start it every once in a while, like Noel goes in his car, even though he hasn't recently, but you know, he starts it up like once a day or stuff like that, or every other day, just to keep it going. But the filter that was in here, this is the 100 micron filter, so this was after this is after the pump. It broke apart, so the little metal top on it broke off right here, and from what I can see, this is probably what made our injectors dirty, because it yeah, I mean, look at it, it's all in there and stuff like that. So all like the glue that was holding this on and whatever, I guess maybe the fuel and the gas, it didn't like the race gas. So I'm gonna probably just end up getting another Aeromotive, because the Aeromotive one is a lot better quality, obviously, than that. That's like a cheap fuel filter. I keep the cheap fuel filter. So I'm gonna get another one of these. This one's the 40 micron, so this was the 100 micron. So I gotta replace this one. But then yeah, the Aeromotive was the one in front, or yeah, it was in front of the pump. You can see it's full of, has like little particulates in there, and it has chunks of that. There's even like, I don't know, some of the stuff looks kind of shiny, so I'm not really too happy about that. But I'm pretty sure either these are, forget if these are just supposed to be cleanable, or you should be able to clean these, or if you could order other ones. But pretty sure these are supposed to be replaceable, obviously. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna pull the fuel lines off and all that, and see about cleaning out all that stuff, clean out the fuel lines and all that stuff. Maybe get some pump gas and just run it through or something, because that's not good. That broke apart in there, and it's running through our fuel system. So but besides that, I showed you guys the catch can. Oh, there's one thing I didn't show you guys. Just give me 1 second. Well, this is not that big of a deal, but I got a gear wrench set. It's got, you know, a bunch of wrenches, metric, standard, ratchets, you know, 12 points, deep sockets. I wish they had some pet sockets, but whatever. Allens and all that stuff, you know, screwdriver, like the little bits and everything. Just because I wanted something that's strictly for the track that I don't have to take from work. I mean, I'm going to probably still take some tools from work, like, you know, the battery powered ones, but less like hand tools and stuff like that we could just have ready and all that. So I got it like on a rollable cart because I don't want it to get wet on the ground. But yeah, so I wanted that strictly, you know, just for the car, not to like, you know, do certain things and stuff like that. But Javier was here. Like I said, he said he was going to take the Corolla, but I left this man alone for probably like 5 minutes and I come back, and I think the battery should still be connected, but yeah, we got headlights. So we got headlights now, and these things are bright, super bright. Wired them up real quick. I mean, it's kind of just a quick wire up. We gotta, you know, do it proper and stuff like that. Yeah. So here's the little fans coming up. Yeah, that one's going. They're both going actually. But so we got those. They're LED, obviously. But HID. But yeah, we got that. My next plan is to pull the transmission out, obviously, but I don't know. I gotta figure out the whole fuel system thing. So and figure out too if all that particulate and stuff messed up the pump or not. I hope it didn't, because that's not really something I was trying to buy right now. But if we have to buy it, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We got to do it. We got to do it. So yeah, I don't know. What else was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, the car did great at 13,203. I'm super happy. You know, fourth gear still kind of did us wrong, but it is what it is. Yeah, so my plan is, like I said, the PPG 3 and 4. That's my main concern, and then also I want to get a mid plate because the engine does a lot of flexing, and that's what hits the hood a lot. So I want to do that, and if we could do some other updates that I want to do, then we'll get to that. But you know, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. But yeah. So now I gotta check all this other stuff, check the fuel system, and make sure that, you know, like the regulator's good and all that stuff is good to go. So anyways, I will see you guys in a second. Oh my gosh. And people wonder why I hate wildlife. So I'm moving some stuff around in the car. I'm seeing that these little pieces of like fabric. And I'm like, why is there like what? Oops. I'm like, what are these little pieces of fabric? Frickin' had to be a mouse. Frickin' had to be a mouse. Dude. Like, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on. Like, and then there has to be a mouse because there's little freaking turds everywhere. Like, that's just annoying. Luckily, the pants went in there too. The pants are inside, but I'm just like, oh, why? Like, and everything else is like, literally, that's the only thing. It's like, why, man? Like, what the heck? And I'm just trying to think, like, how did they even get in? Because everything's literally welded shut. The only thing I can think of is, yo, that's some big turds. That's crazy. This is where the shifter cables go. It's the only spot I can think of. So I'm gonna have to put something over that, or just, I don't know. But that's crazy. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, back in the garage. I think where we left off last time was a bunch of mouse poop in my car, which I still have to vacuum out. And the rat ate my jacket. So it's definitely a rat. It's not a mouse. Those little nuggets of turds are way too big to be a freaking mouse, but it's definitely a rat. But I went and did a thing. Shout out to my girl for taking the trip with me. I went and got a Myers header. Shout out to Poe_K24 from Jersey. We're gonna take out our PLM header. You can already tell, like, if I stand this up, you can already tell this is meant for an EF chassis or a DA because it's even, like, to clear the firewall, like, you know what I mean? Like, it sits on top of it. This one, you know what I mean? It comes further back and it angles this way. That's why I had to put the V-band with some pie cuts in here. So hopefully, one, not only will we make a little more power, but two, it'll fit more better. It's not going to be hitting against this. It's not going to be burning my cowl. The only thing I am a little worried about is the giant hole now that we have in our hood, because we're most likely going to have to make it bigger and, you know, readjust it. If anything, you know what I mean? I got other freaking neighbors. I got pieces of carbon lying around that I could use to cover it up or whatever, or I could even just, you know, use some metal or whatever and rivet it on there so you don't see it. But anyways, we're gonna work on taking that out. I got the fuel pump off. because I want to take it apart to double check, make sure it's not dirty on the inside, make sure it's still good, because we were having that issue at 13203 where the fuel pressure was, jumping up and down. So I want to check that out. I emptied the radiator because some days, and especially at night, it's getting a little cold now. So, it's not freezing temp, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I emptied out all the water. The car's sitting here anyways. And then I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. That's about it. But so after the header, my next goal is PBG 3 and 4. That's another thing I want to do. I think, I don't know, depending how much time we have, which we should have more than enough time. I'm going to drop the transmission. And then, like I said, my goal is PPG 3 and 4 and the mid plate. And now looking at where my radiator is, I think the mid plate, because I'm pretty sure it mounts like right there, like on this lower half. Mounts to these bottom bolts where like the clutch and everything is like exposed, the flywheel. Obviously, there's a radiator, one of our hoses in the way, and then I think where it's going to line up is going to be more like right here. So we're going to have to figure something out with that radiator. Either we might have to move it forward or something. But it won't be the first time we have to fab something up, so we'll figure it out. But I'm going to get working on pulling out this header so we can see if this Myers one, which it's obviously going to fit, but see where it lines up and see what we got to do to make it fit proper. So, got the old header off. And, show you guys on here first. The V-band's all bent up because that's where it hits on the firewall, because we had to bend it, but it's still from the vibration it's in on the firewall and stuff like that. But yeah, just looking at, I should have showed you guys before on the other header before I put it on, but even like these are a little bigger, so you just match a little better, because you could see like these were smaller, so they were like going into the hole because Javier ported everything, so like, you know what I mean. And then so yeah, the header's on, looks freaking sick. I got the O2 kind of just running because I unplugged it. But the only problem is that this bolt right here for our upper control arms, to where they mount to for our spherical bushings, it's hitting on it. So right now this thing's like sitting right on that bolt. So I did have to give it a little tap with the hammer just to like get it on. I'm not leaving it on. I think what I'm just gonna do now, since this part right here is on, I have to get a shorter bolt for right here, because since it is shorter, but it doesn't touch the firewall. But since it doesn't it's not letting me put the bolt that I normally had because it's closer. It's not as far back as that one is. So I'm going to get like a slightly shorter bolt than the one I have. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna try to pull these springs off, and then see if I could tap this off, and then I don't know, go from there. I did have to do a little tapping around here just to get the metal down, but even then it's hitting on the bottom of the header. But looks sick. It should make us some more power. I was a little concerned about right here. They're close, but they should be all right. And then yeah, so this is the other header that we had. It is now for sale, so if anybody wants it, it is here. Why does he do that? All right, guys, so after some tapping and grinding, a lot more than I expected, and putting a new hole in the hood, it is on. Shout out to Pops for coming through, and while I was doing some other stuff, he grinded down the bolt that was underneath here, because before it was sitting on top of it. It still kind of is, but it's not as bad. And then we gave it a little tap up. I mean, I shouldn't turn the light on. You can kind of see it, but shouldn't make that be that big of a deal. Noel says it should be fine. And so now it's on. It slides on nice. Before I had to, give it a little more of force to get it on. This time it kind of just goes clunk and it pops on. It's just touching the bolt a little bit. We grinded it down. We didn't want to grind it down too much to the point where it, like we couldn't get the socket on if we had to take it out. So we grinded it down about halfway, and then, it's on now. But they look good. They look good. They clear the firewall. It's not like this. That is like from rubbing from the V-band on those. Clears nice, and we should make hopefully a little more horse purge. They even got the hood cut already. Did that real quick with the hole saw and the grinder. So I got that. Thinking about getting something to just cover this. Maybe something cool. I don't know. And then I want to cut this right here so it's even, or like at least pointing slight direction that way versus that way, because when I turn it on, we have it set to being a little more rich, so pumps out some, you know, raw fuel when it first turns on. It gets all over the windshield and the hood and stuff, so I want to, you know, redirect it that way instead of at me. Especially like it's hard when I'm trying to put the car on the trailer and there's fuel being dumped onto the windshield. So got that done. Now the next plan is to start checking out the transmission. While my dad was grinding the bolt, that's what I was doing. I didn't get that far, but I took the cables off, and now I'm just gonna start unbolting everything. First I gotta drain it though. And I have to pull the axles too. So I will see you guys in a second. All right, guys, gonna make this quick. My phone's gonna die, but pretty much I got the transmission and everything prepped to be taken out. Still the axles are in, but for the most part, it's ready to be taken out. But I'm gonna save that for next video. So I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And don't forget to like and subscribe.